Good day, students. Welcome to Mathgotserved.com. In this clip, we're going to be going over section 2.3 on our series on operations on decimals. In this presentation, we're going to be taking a look at how to subtract or find the difference between two decimals. An example problem that we'll be attacking in this presentation is given here, 15.32 minus 2.41. We're going to be using the vertical addition subtraction method to compute the difference. Don't forget, we have 4 practice problems at the end of this presentation in order for you to try out to demonstrate mastery of the contents of this tutorial. Alrighty, let's take a look at question number 1. Instructions are for us to find the difference between the given decimals. So we have 15.84 minus 2.31. So let's go ahead and compute the difference or subtract them. So what we're going to do is we're going to orient them vertically. Okay, so remember the rule that we went over in lesson 2.2 when we were talking about addition, which is that you must align your decimal points to ensure that you're adding or subtracting digits in identical place values. Okay, so that's the rule of thumb. Now, if you notice the way that I oriented the numbers, you notice that the decimal points are perfectly stacked on top of each other vertically on a straight line going down. And then we have our hundredths, our tenths, our ones, and then our tenths place. Okay, there's no digit here, so let's put a placeholder in front of the 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and proceed with subtraction. Just like addition, you always start from the rightmost digit, the smallest place value, and work your way to the left. Okay, all right, so what is 4 minus 1? 4 minus 1 is 3. 8 minus 3 in the tenths place, we have a 5. Bring down your decimal point. 5 minus 2 in the ones place, we have a 3. And then 1 minus 0 in the tens place is 1. So our answer is 13.53 for question number 1. All right, let's take a look at the next example, question 2. What if we were to find the difference between 9.35 and 5.2? All right, let's go ahead and compute the difference, the subtract. We are going to line them up vertically as we talked about earlier in such a way that the decimal points line up perfectly. So 9.35 and then 5.2. Okay. So now we're going to compute the difference. Before we start, we want to make sure that we don't have any place value digits missing. If we have a missing digit in any of the columns, we just put a placeholder there, okay? So if you notice that in 5.2, we're subtracting, there is no digit in the hundredths place, but 9.35 does have a 5. So we're going to put a placeholder right here so we can make sure that everything is perfectly aligned. All right, so subtracting, we're going to commence from the rightmost digit, the smallest place value, which is the hundredths place, and work our way up. 5 minus 0 is 5. 3 minus 2 is 1. Bring down your decimal point, and 9 minus 5 is 4. So the answer to question number 2 is 4.15. Alrighty, let's take a look at question number 3. We want to subtract 7.52 from 34.07. So let's take a look at what the solution to this problem is. So we have to orient the numbers vertically for subtraction. Another thing to keep in mind is that the order is important, okay? Whichever one goes first on the left, that goes on top, and then the second number goes on the bottom. All right, 7.52. So we talked about the properties of addition last time. I'll Lesson 2.2, we know that addition commutes, but subtraction does not. There's no commutative property there. The order matters when it comes to subtraction. All right? Okay, so let's go ahead and subtract. Let's make sure there are no place values missing. There's a 0 here in the tens place for 7.52. All right, so let's see. We're going to start right from the rightmost digit, the hundredths place, and start subtracting, okay? 7 minus 2 is 5. And then we have, all right, so now we're going to move along to the tenths place. What is 0 minus 5? Well, 5 is bigger than 0, so you can take out a bigger number from a smaller number, all right? So what we have to do is we have to borrow. Go to the next place value to the left. If it's a non-zero number, you borrow 1 from it. If not, you move to another place value and borrow twice, okay? So if you take a look at the next place value to the left, the higher place value, the ones place, this is not 0, so that's excellent. All we're just going to do is borrow 1 from 4, so this becomes a 3, and then we move it to the 10th place, and that makes this a 10. Okay, so what is 10 minus 5? 10 minus 5 is 5. Bam. Okay, moving on, let's move on to the ones place. What is 3? Take away 7. Now 7 is bigger than 3, so the rule is you can't take away a bigger number from a smaller number. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to borrow, take a look at the digit to the left, and we're going to borrow 1, okay? All right, so let's see, we're going to borrow 1 from this 3, so this becomes a 2, and then this 3 becomes a 13. Okay, so if you borrow 1 from the tens place and it goes to the ones place, that 1 becomes a 10, all right? Because 10 ones moves you over to the next place value. All right, so now 13 minus 7. 13 minus 7. Now you can do that because 13 is bigger than 7. And that's 6. And then 2 minus 0 is just 2. So our answer is 26.55. We're going to do one more problem, and then we'll give you some practice problems to try out. Let's see how well you do with those, okay? So lastly, question number 4. Let's do some currency calculations. So you want to compute the difference between $5.07 and $1.32. Okay, let's say you want to go shopping. You have $5.07 in your pocket, and whatever you buy costs $1.32. So how much change are you going to get back after making a purchase of $1.32? Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and compute the difference. Same procedure. We're going to make sure that the decimal points line up perfectly to ensure that we are subtracting identical place values. Okay, all right, so we have that down. No need for any placeholders because all the digits are filled out for both numbers, for those both currency values. Okay, so now let's go ahead and proceed with our subtraction. We are going to be starting with the same pattern that we did with previous problems, which is from the smallest place value or the rightmost place value, and then we'll subtract our way to the highest or in the left direction. Okay, all right, let's do it. So what is 7 minus 2? 7 minus 2 is 5. Okay, now let's go to the 10th place. What is 0 minus 3? Well, you can't take away 3 from 0 since 3 is bigger. So you're going to have to borrow 1 from the next place value, the place value to the left, which is the ones place. So if we borrow 1 from 5, this becomes a 4. And then if we take a 1 from the ones place and move it over to the 10th place, it becomes a 10. Okay, because 10 tenths is 1. All right, so what is 10? Oh, what's the operation? Sorry, put the operation there. Subtraction is the operation. 10 minus 3 is 7. All right, we're done with the fractional parts of our difference. Let's move on to the whole numbers. 4 minus 1 is 3. So our answer to this problem, the difference, is $3.75. So if you go shopping, you go try and get some candy, you have $5.07 in your pocket, and your candy costs $1.32. Your change will be $3.75. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, here are 4 practice problems that we'd like you to try out. Go ahead and pause the video at this time and try out these subtraction problems. When you're done, click on the playback button and we're going to reveal what the correct answers are. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, here are the solutions to question 1 to 4. Go ahead and check your work. We'd like to know how well you did with these practice problems. Did you get them all right? What did you score out of 4? Specify in the comment section below. If you have any questions about these practice problems or what we went over in the tutorial, just let us know and we'll be more than glad to support you. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this presentation. Please help support our channel by liking, subscribing, posting a comment, and hitting the bell notification button. Don't forget we have tons of support resources to help you master mathematics at mathgotserved.com, or just take a look at the links in the description below. Thanks again for watching and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.